at the Hoosier Horse Fair, and we're having a great time. And I'm talking to Randy Glenn. Now, Randy does a kind of a very special cowboy church service, right?
Yes. We're with the Haven of Hope Horse Ministry, and we do have several cowboy church that we do throughout the year. And but our specialty is that we run camps, retreats, and one-day activities for grades 1 through 5, and then we also help out teenagers of the inner city. And so our cowboy church is to help bring them and enlighten them on rural development, the horse industry, and basic horsemanship.
Well, it's a very worthwhile cause. You got a beautiful booth here too. I love your kind of country store setup or whatever, but you know, it's really neat, and it's a great thing that you're doing. And do you come here to the Hoosier Horse Fair every year?
Yes, we do. We absolutely enjoy this. This is great exposure for everyone. It's not just for those that have horses. And this is absolutely one of the best beneficials for the state of Indiana as far as the horse industry is concerned.
So now, what part of Indiana are you from?
We're all the way over on the west side of Indiana in a place called Turkey Run. That's a state park, and we're actually in the town of Marshall, Indiana.
I grew up Avon, Danville area. I know right where you're at out there. So you're right over. You're just a little bit north of Terre Haute, actually.
Yes, sir. Just a little bit north, about 40 minutes north of Terre Haute.
Well, it's a great thing, and it's a great fun. It's nice to have you here in the Kids Corral area too.
Yes, we get quite a bit of questions that are asking. A lot of parents are needing help with their young people, and I'm glad that we're able to assist them. Well,
when you mix the church services and horses and kids, you can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong, and we've seen a difference. We've seen an impact on the young people and what it does to change their lives.
Now, how do they contact you if somebody wants to get a hold of you?
Well, we have a website. It's havenofhopeministries.com, and then our email address is havenofhopeinc@yahoo.com.
Get a hold of them. It's a great project. Randy, thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Stay with us. We're at the Hoosier Horse Fair. We got a lot more coming right here on Speaking of Horses.
This is actually put the yarns on the machine. Getting the yarns all the same tension on them. See, I'm making them all the same. Then I rehook them. Okay. Now what I'm doing here is taping this to keep it from untwisting. I'm just going to cut it off. Now I melt all these together. Stick it in water to cool it. cut the tape off. And then I tie the Honda knot. This is the same knot that is put into any lariat that any cowboy uses to rope calves, rope horses, whatever he happens to be roping. It's just a simple overhand knot, and this end comes through under the load line. Now I use this fancy machine here to tighten it up. I take your rope, stick it through there. We twist this, roll it up. There's your lariat.
$5 grade. What?
Right? It's a $45 tag on it. Kind of like this. Like you can't pass that up for. Actually, you want it like this. It's not that bad. Keep getting it. Let's get this
Speaking of Horses, would like to thank some of the people who helped to make Speaking of Horses TV possible. A big thank you to Equine Clot. Equine Clot is a wonderful product. Carry it in your saddlebag, put it in your first aid kit, wrap it on an equine wound. It immediately promotes clotting and is a great first aid tool. Thank you to Equine Clot. And to EquestraSafe, a complete line of equestrian riding products for trail, for arena, for wherever. From reflective vests, reflective headgear, tapes, signage, everything you need to ride safely and to be safe with your horse is available at EquestraSafe.com. Check them out. Thanks to all of the fine people that make Speaking of Horses TV possible.
Chinese then systematized that practice and set up what they call meridians, or lines across the body, that are associated with different organ systems. So the meridians have names like bladder, and stomach, and liver, and kidney. And all of those systems are then associated with different kinds of emotional levels or illnesses. There are different types of illnesses when we talk about acupuncture. So you may be used to things like respiratory illness or GI tract illness or arthritis. But in acupuncture theory, all of those systems are confined to 5 pernicious angles: wind, heat, summer heat, damp, and one other that I can't remember ever. But those 5 pernicious evils invade the system essentially, as the acupuncture theory goes, and cause those issues. So and stagnation, sorry. And so our acupuncture needles go into particular acupuncture points throughout the body to help open those areas up. What we know is that 3,000 years ago there were no PET scans, there were no x-ray machines, there were no blood machines. They couldn't test anything. They couldn't get a diagnosis like we're used to. But what they could do was give a traditional Chinese medicine diagnosis. And so your traditional Chinese medicine diagnosis may be something like damp wind, all right, or excess heat. That doesn't mean you have a fever. It means that somewhere in that system you are expelling heat. Many of you might be familiar with the terms yin and yang, or yin yang, however you want to pronounce it. Those two terms are essentially saying opposites. For everything, there are two sides. There's dark, there's light. There's up, there's down. There's happy, there's sad. And everything requires a balance of those two things. We couldn't have light without dark. We couldn't have happy without some sad, right? We couldn't have, well, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something. How would you know you're in pain if you were never not in pain?
Hey, we're speaking of horses, Hoosier Horse Fair, Indianapolis, and right now Dr. Chris Marks is my guest from St. Mary of the Woods College, and one of the best equestrian programs around.
Well, we like to think it's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Well, we hear a lot of feedback from employers and from horse people in the industry, and our reputation appears to be pretty sound right now.
I think it is. Now, you're located Terre Haute, Indiana, and you have kids from all over the country come in to participate in this, right?
Yes, from all over. Far away as Alaska and Hawaii and Connecticut and Colorado, and lots from Indiana and Illinois as well.
Well, yeah, and I happen to know a couple of the Wisconsin students.
Yes.
The Malock.
Oh, yes, the Malik sisters.
Malik, I said it wrong, yes.
Indeed.
Yeah.
The formidable cheeseheads that they are. Indeed. Two very accomplished riders, one of whom has graduated already, the other of whom is getting ready to leave us this spring. So.
And their mother, Kelly, does a pretty good job, too.
That's what I understand, yeah. Both pretty fearless riders, and really, they'll make great employees.
So, if people are looking to get involved and have students come to your program, how do they go about doing this?
Well, one of the best ways, of course, is to go online to smwc.edu, check out the course offerings and the majors that we offer, and, of course, contact us. Be not shy at all about contacting us. There are not very many equine studies programs in the country, and you'll find that they are all different, and they are attached to institutions of all sizes with various attributes. And what I like to say to my prospective students is, if the woods is right for you, you'll know it. The best way to find out is to come and see us.
Well, that is the best way, but you have majors in various equine studies, right?
We do. We have actually 3 different majors. We have equine studies, which is a very flexible major, applicable to a wide variety of career paths. We have equine business management for those who want to specialize more in a business realm. And then we have equine instruction and training. We focus primarily on training riding instructors in that major, but also those who wish to have a training emphasis.
Yeah, so it's a great college. It's a great equine program. We're glad to run into you here at the Hoosier Horse Fair.
Well, I feel that's very fortuitous, and thank you so much for interviewing me.
Now, if you're with us, eventually we're going to be doing a show based just around St. Mary of the Woods College and the equine program. So later on through the year, you're going to see a full 30-minute TV show on Speaking of Horses dedicated to this program. It's a great program.
We can hardly wait. We're ready to entertain you mightily.
Well, I was going to try to do this a year ago, and I had an issue. I couldn't make it, but we're going to get it done. So Chris, thank you.
Well, we'll be waiting, and thanks to all your listeners.
Or should I say Dr. Marks rather than Chris?
Chris works for me.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, we're at the Hoosier Horse Fair. You stay with us. We got a lot more coming right here on Speaking of Horses. Hey, we're here at the Hoosier Horse Fair, and we're talking with TJ Cliburn. Now, TJ's running the Ultimate Mustang Challenge. So tell us a little bit about this program.
Well, I decided to put a thing together because we've had these horses for a few years with the Extreme Mustang makeover, and then there was nothing for us to do with our Mustangs. So I thought as an entertainment factor I'd run a freestyle competition between 10 competitors. And unfortunately this year we had 3 pull out for reasons that their horse was lame and couldn't make it. So we ended up going with 7 and we had a great time.
Well, it was a good competition. We're going to show you some of it here in just a moment, but tell us a little bit about the criteria, what this competition is going to be. In other words, what do they have to do and how are they judged?
Okay, it's judged by the fans, so anybody that comes to watch us, they get to vote. So it's whatever they like, So it takes it out of a judge's hands, And what they do is 5 minutes to freestyle music, and they get to show off whatever they can do with their Mustangs.
Okay, so now you got plans to do this Ultimate Mustang Challenge in other places, right?
Yes, yeah. I'd like to take it around the states if I can, and show people what these horses can do.
Well, it's a little bit like when somebody learns how to round pen reason or train a horse in a round pen. Then after that, it's like, okay, I've got to start learning or doing something more. I want to take that horse to another level. I want something else to go do, and that's what this is. They brought these Mustangs in. They got them right off the range, adopted, got their 90 days or 6 months or whatever that criteria was with them, and then went to the challenge. And then after that, there's nothing where you go back and see more, right?
That's right. There's nothing for them to do, and these horses, a lot of them were turned out after the challenge. They were just run out in pasture. And we got them back in about a month ago and decided we'd better get to work and do something.
So besides the Ultimate Mustang Challenge, though, you also do training clinics and everything. So how do they get a hold of you guys?
They can contact us by phone or our website. My wife Tracy Porter or myself, TJ Cliburn, they can contact us on our Facebook page, or they can call us.
All right. So, TJ, thanks for bringing this in.
Thank you very much, Wayne, for coming and seeing it and film it and having me on your show.
All right. So right now, let's watch a bit of this Ultimate Mustang Challenge. Thank you.
Thank you.
We at Speaking of Horses would like to thank the people who have made Speaking of Horses TV possible. To Equessentials, all your horse grooming, coat and care products specifically designed for your horse. A thank you to King Barns, custom-built barns, any style, any project you'd like. Get a hold of King Barns. To Overland Carts, if you want that versatile utility cart for your stable that can do anything, check out Overland Carts. Stall Butler, a unique design on how you can muck your stalls and save 90% of your shavings for reuse. Check out Stall Butler. And Eagle Erie Equine, modular systems for saddle racks, tack bars, and the like. Totally organize your tack room with Eagle Erie Equine. Thanks to all of these fine people who make Speaking of Horses.
thank you so much for coming to see Maceo. My name is Olicio Zope. I'm the director of the show. This is a brand new show for pretty much any horse expo to have a show like this. This is the first time. Sorry, I'm a little tongue-tied. I'm nervous. We'd like to thank the Indiana Horse Council and the Hoosier Horse Fair and Expo for having us here and giving us our shot. Thank you. And like I said, this is a new type of show for a horse expo anywhere, so please tell your friends, tell your family if you enjoy the show. And thank you all for coming and supporting this. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the show.
To take a moment and thank people who make Speaking of Horses TV possible. We want to thank One Source Nutrition, the perfect blend of nutrients to help your horse. It's One Source Nutrition. And Revitavet, equine light therapy, for either toning up muscles before competitions or to promote rapid healing. You want Revitavet. Equine Savings. This program can save you up to 25% on tractors, stable equipment, yes, and even on barn paint. Be sure and go to Equine Savings and check it out. To Hoosier Horse Trailers. Quality horse trailers, living quarters, you and your horse can ride in comfort. And Saratoga Stalls. Classic equine stalls built specifically for you. Thank you to Saratoga Stalls. And thanks to everyone who makes Speaking of Horses TV possible.